Hello and welcome everyone. My name is Amy Edwards. I am a platinum consultant with Evolution Archer Travel. And today we are going to talk about Agent Universe. Agent Universe is really one of my favorite suppliers. I don't use them for booking, and you'll find that you probably won't do a lot of booking through them, but you'll use them for a ton of research, especially research with cruises. And we're going to talk about that in just a moment. And I'm also going to show you how to set up an agent profiler, which is a way that you can get leads through Agent Universe. They're going to help you to build a bio, and you are going to be able to have a landing page that is managed by Agent Universe. So it's on, it's got great SEO marketing. It's on all of the search engines. So we are going to show you how to do that. First thing I want to do though is show you how to get registered. It does take about 3 to 5 days for approval. So what I did is I just logged into my back office. I went to the travel cafe, which brought us here. Depending on where you are from, you are going to go to suppliers, suppliers by country, and you're going to see if Agent Universe is available. Now, a lot of times, even if it isn't available in your country, because we're just using it for research, you can a lot of times use Archer Travel's address to get approval. So reach out to your mentor and ask them if that is possible. So I'm going to go ahead and click on USA here. I'm going to scroll down, and then we're going to be the second one in here. So I'm going to go ahead and just click on Agent Universe. If you've ever heard of Agent Universe, you'll know that they're associated with TLN, which is a Travel Leaders Network. And Travel Leaders Network is our consortium. So if you ever hear anybody asking who's your consortia or who's your consortium, that is going to be Travel Leaders Network. First thing you're going to see is a quick reference guide. I know this looks a little bit dated, but it is got quite a few in there. I think they keep it updated. They just didn't do the link to the new year. Commissions vary depending on the supplier, but again, I don't really book through Agent Universe. I just use it to find information. If you have any troubles or you need support services, you can use this number to call. I always say reach out to your mentor. Try not to reach out to Archer directly unless your mentor needs you to, because we have so many agents and it would really overwhelm Archer. So we try to help you, make sure it's nothing, simple that we can help you with. And if it's not, we will tell you who to get a hold of at Archer Travel. So with Agent Universe, you are going to self-register, and here is the link. So I always right-click and open it in a new tab. It says Archer Travel will approve your registration up to 4 days after you register. Make sure you register with the correct information. Use your address that you have, or your email address that you have in the back office, and then you'll get an email when it's all set. You can also use logos from TLN. And again, the quick reference card, as well as this Roger Block weekly newsletter, really helps you keep you up to date in the travel industry. So I always tell everybody they should sign up for that. All right. And then once you get your access, you can click here to log in, or you can save that to your favorites. So I'm going to go ahead and switch over to the create your account screen. First thing you are going to do is you are going to put in your email, whatever that may be. And then you are going to then create a new password. And then you are going to click on next. Once you click on next, it's going to ask you for your information. So first name, last name, your title, and I usually do independent contractor, or you can do owner, okay? That kind of tells them that you are remote and that you have a host agency, as well as you're going to put in your phone number. Because you have used the link that they've given you, it's already registered with Archer Travel. You're going to click register as an independent contractor. Your certification, if you have one, you can choose it. If you have an additional cruise certification, you can choose it, but that isn't required. So it's not something that you have to have. And then you are going to click on create account, and then you're going to get an email once Archer approves this. Okay, so it's going to send all that information over to Archer and then you will get approval. So I'm going to go ahead and go over to Agent Universe here. I am going to hide my meeting controls so that I can see. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and log in. Agent Universe is one of our suppliers who makes you change your password every, I believe it's every 60 to 90 days. So get ready for that. And if it expires, you'll just have to do the forgot password feature, but that does work pretty easily. It'll send you a quick email. And then once you get that email, you'll just set up a new password. All right, so you're going to see your information in the top right-hand corner here. Here is your link to get back to the home page. And we're going to go through all of these sections, all right? The first thing, though, that I want to show you is their training schedule. I think that's really important because they do have a set monthly training schedule, but they have a little different way to register for it. So some of them, they'll give you a Zoom number, but most of them you'll register right in this portal, and then it'll email you when or with the link just before it's time for the training. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go into here and you're going to want to go to the TLN training library. You always want to make sure that that's open in the background. Otherwise, when you go to access the training, it's going to ask for your username and password, and you don't have a separate username and password. So you have to log into Agent Universe and open up the library. The library has recorded trainings of all the trainings that have happened. So I think it's a really good idea to come in here and look at their trainings. I was looking at some specifically professional development. If you scroll down, it's going to talk about independent contractors. It's going to tell you how to sell, how to focus on the customer, so customer service. You're going to be able to see the orientation, how to use the site. A couple of other things that I think are really helpful. It's going to show you how to pick a niche. So you're going to be able to find your own niche. You're going to learn how to do bookings. You're going to learn how to do quotes. There is a ton of information in here, okay? So if you're having any trouble, even though this isn't focused to Archer and Evolution, it has a lot of really good business information. So definitely utilize that, okay? So go to the actual trainings. You're going to go to training and events and the education calendar. And this is going to give you the entire month at a glance. A couple things I want to point out is Agent Universe does have some programs that are an additional cost. It's not something you have to do. It's not something you have to worry about, but they do have some special certifications. Or if you have an education certificate or any kind of degree in the hospitality industry and you want to have continuing education credits, they have those options too. Okay. The only thing that I can think of pretty quickly that we don't really participate in as a independent agent is anything to do with a SNAP. So anything to do with SNAP, you'll just ignore that. I'm not sure that you even have access to it on here. And then a couple of these trainings are going to say for agency owners only. So that'll be like an Archer Travel, how to set people up, things like that. So you don't need to do anything with SNAP or any with the agency owners. All right. So there's how to access the trainings, whether they're recorded or whether it's live. So that's a really good resource of information. Next thing that I want to show you is how to access the agent profiler. So again, I'm going to move some of my controls here out of the way. And I'm going to go back to the home page. And I believe agent profiler is going to be over here on the quick links. Yes. So here is the agent profiler, and this is how you're going to get started to get a landing page to get leads through Agent Universe. And they do come through It depends on how active you are, depends on how you have your site set up. It depends on what level of agent profiler that you have. So if I go back here to the main site, let me see where it is really quick. I got really used to the old site and then they had an update, so it might take me just a minute. I could just use the search feature here. Oh, marketing. Okay. So in the agent profiler, they also have a super agent. Um, it used to be a cost. I think that it's still free. They used to have 3 levels. So I believe that the first 2 levels are free to you. But you definitely want to read through this. It's going to tell you what the agent profiler is and how does it work, how leads are tracked. You're going to be able to see the leads. You want to make sure when you got a lead that you respond to them because they do reach out and see if you have responded. Okay. So whether they book or not, they'll want to know and whether you reach out to them. How to set it up and how to get to that super agent profiler. So really good opportunity here. But let me show you how to set up that basic agent profiler. So what you're going to see is when you first start up, you're going to see yours is 0% and unpublished. It's going to ask you for a photo, all of your contact information, and you're simply going to click edit. When it's time to see leads, when it's published, you're going to be able to view and manage any leads that you have. What's really important is you have to have at least one thing in each of these categories. So when you open them up, and all of them work the same. So destinations, partners, which are the suppliers, and special interests, which are your specialties. Now you can narrow it down to one niche, or you can talk about all of your different specialties. What you're going to do is you're going to click on edit. When you click on edit, you are going to check off any of the things you've had education in, you've traveled yourself, you've booked travel, maybe you've taken a training course. So they don't have to be that you're a specialist, but that you have some experience. So honeymoon specialist. I'm a honeymoon specialist for Jamaica. I took the honeymoon specialty course. Meeting and incentives. I've taken various trainings. Baby moons, various trainings for that. Let's see, Disney. So I'm Disney certified. You could say that I've traveled to Disney. I've booked my own trips to Disney. It just wants a very little explanation on why you are selecting that and what your experience is. Okay. So once you select all of them that you want, you're going to click on Save Changes. When you click on Save Changes, it is going to go to the pending section, and then it takes about a day or two, and then it'll go to approve. I haven't ever seen anything go to not approved, but make sure you just fill in everything. Again, the same thing with destinations and with suppliers, whatever suppliers you've taken training with or that you have access to. And you can go in and edit these at any time. Additional content. You're going to learn what additional content is when you get to the super agent level. They're going to want additional bios. They're going to want some customer testimonials. So you're going to have people to leave reviews. If you haven't done a lot of travel yet, that's absolutely okay. I think you need one review for the standard agent profiler. So your mentor or somebody you work closely with can do that, or a family friend. Anybody that knows that you are working in travel, that you are, attending trainings, that your mentors are a really good resource because they know all the things that you're working on and all the questions that you're asking. You're going to create some itineraries. The map is just some destinations that you've either traveled to or booked. So pretty quickly, pretty easily. And then again, your reviews. You can manage all of your reviews here. All right, next thing that you want to do, once you have all of that done, you are then going to be 100% complete, but it's going to show unpublished. Once you have that done, it's 100%, you are going to take a screenshot, make sure to include all this information, and you are going to send that to Archer Travel. So it's markb@archertravel.com. and they are going to get you to be 100% published. Okay. So once you are published, you are then going to be able to go over to your profile. And you are going to be able to see it on the public site. So you can then set up your own link so you can customize your link. You can connect it to all of your social media accounts, upload a photo, a website title. Here is the bio section. Now, here's some tips for an effective bio. And if you go back here to this agent profiler section, let's see. I'll just search here. They actually have a program where you can fill out a questionnaire. And in that questionnaire, you're going to send that back. And you are going to be able to have them write a bio on your behalf. So I know that it's in here. Oh, here it is. Okay. So use your free bio writing service if you need help. So you're going to send an email to them, letting them know that you need help with the bio. They're going to reply with that questionnaire. You're going to fill out the questionnaire and send it back. And I think it takes about 2 to 3 days to get that bio sent to you. So once you have that bio, you can copy and paste it right into here. So I didn't type any of this. I know we have ChatGPT now. I did this before we had ChatGPT, so it's completely up to you what you would like to use. I felt like using their bio service was probably a great idea because it's their service personally. So I thought, go right to the professionals there. Again, secondary bios, those are for the super agent. And you can add photos, you can choose specialties, you can utilize all of that. Any supplier certifications, this is a great place to put in all of those certifications, especially if you're attending with Marnie and getting those certifications. She does those on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, I believe. All right, so now I can go in and I can see my profile on the national website. And everything on here is going to lead to my information. So it's going to be email me, call me. They're going to be seeing my whole bio section, my photos, any of my reviews, any of that information. As you can see, I have 83% recommended, but I have 6 5-star reviews. The thing is, somebody got on there and they marked one of my reviews as not helpful. So that's why you'll see 83% recommended, which I think is still good. But once those get, a little down, if that happens, just add some more reviews. So it's kind of a review game there. Unfortunately, they have that thumbs down button for the review not helpful. I wish that they did not have that. Okay, so that's how you set up your agent profiler. You can see all of your leads. The training section isn't something that is used. Any questions on that part? Those are probably 2 of the largest parts of Agent Universe. I see there's a QR generator. Do you recommend using that for our business cards? Yeah, you absolutely can. You don't want to get too many QR codes on your business cards. Yeah, I don't know if you want to send somebody to your agent profiler or directly to a quote form. I feel like sending them from your business card to like a quote request might be good. But if you don't have a website or you don't want to use Evo's website, that QR generator is probably a good one to use. It really depends on how you want to go. Is there a way to link your quote request page to this page? Not from your Evo website, there isn't. All right, good questions. All right, so now I'm going to go through and just kind of show you a couple of the resources, other resources that are on here. And you can scroll down through on the homepage. There are a lot of specials. I know that Agent Universe does a lot with cruises and with hotels, especially. So you can see some specials that are going to be scrolling through anything you've recently visited. The training library, you can get through VAX here. They do have a yearly convention. It's called the Edge. They also have regionals, so always look into that. Things that are live and in person in your local areas. Social media studio, that's another thing that is an additional cost. I don't believe Archer has activated that yet, but I'm going to show you what they have for social media without the social media studio, because there is still a lot of stuff that we have access to. All right, so scrolling down here, we will get into social media now. I'll kind of show you the social media calendar. So they actually have access to social media content that you can utilize to post every single day. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the social media section. And I'm going to go ahead and click on, we're going to do Social Media Studio. Social Share Pro is their program that is an extra free. And I haven't checked with Archer lately to see if they decided to activate that. But as of, just about a month ago, they had it. So they have a ton of trainings on social media as well. So how to use TikTok, how to use Meta, how to use Instagram, how to promote destinations, so many different things that they're going to show you on social media trainings. Okay. From there, you are going to have access to a social media calendar. Let me just scroll down here and see if there's anything else that's new that I should show you. Yeah, here's the Facebook and Instagram, TikTok, how to use shorten your websites or website addresses, how to use Canva, Google Analytics. I think that's really good to know how to check your analytics. Let's see, a few toolkits that you can use as well. So definitely explore through there. But when you go to the social media calendar, you're going to click on that to open. And really quickly, I'm going to change the way my screen shares because I need you to be able to see the screens that open. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Okay, so on here, you can see that there are social media content for every single day. They must be a little bit behind. Usually the whole month is full, and I'm sure it will be very shortly. But as you can see, they're color coded. So for instance, on Wednesday, if you click on here, it was the Rocky Mountain tier. It's going to open up with this. You are going to be able to see a caption and then a link to Canva. I really like the Canva links because with Canva, you can open the link and you can schedule it to share at any time. So you could go in here on the 1st and you could do all of the photos in here and have them automatically share on the dates that are in. And then of course you can copy and paste the caption. Let's see, the blogs. So we have a Virgin blog. And you have to make sure that your agent profiler is active before you see some of these. Most of them that you can see though. So on the blogs, you're going to click here and you're going to click on this and it's going to give you a link directly to that blog. So you can share different blogs on your social media, or maybe you like to put blogs like on Pinterest or something like that. That's a really good way to share those. When it doesn't say blog, like with this Viking, this is going to be a special through Viking Cruises. So you're going to be able to get a link to that special. It's going to let you choose which flyer you want. It's going to give a link to your agent profiler if somebody wants to inquire and book with you. Travel tips, those are really nice that you can utilize. So again, this one has the photo on here. You can right click, copy that or save that image, copy the caption, and use that in your social media. Nice thing with Meta is you can schedule all of these. If anybody's using Ralio as their social media tool for sharing content, Ralio, as you know, they post automatically and they post a lot more content than BranchUp. But what I like about Ralio is you can use their scheduler as well. So you can use what's built in there, or you can also add to it this from this calendar. Croatia Christmas markets. Kind of tells you to getting ready for Christmas and all of the Christmas travel. Helps you to prepare for the upcoming holidays. So that's a really good option for social media. You now have 3 resources right off the bat with the BranchUp, with the Ralio, and with Agent Universe. So definitely look into all of those resources. All right, so let's go back here to the main page. Oh, yes. So we have BranchUp and Ralio. So you want to do, you can access a training from your team, or if you're going to search Google. So Ralio has an option that is a free option, or I'm sorry, an option that's a paid option and an option for travel agents. Royal Caribbean actually pays for Ralio for us. So you want to search Ralio for travel agents to get signed up. And I think I could do that search really quickly for you. So for travel agents, they have kind of a quote unquote free service. Okay. And then BranchUp is just going to be branchup.com. You're welcome. All right, so let's see some other options that we have here. Agency resources, customer relationship management tools. They have discounts and fam trips, so you can look into those. Travel tips, travel aids and planning tools. So they have some documents that are like packing checklists. They have some quote aids. They have quite a few different things. Family planning. So you can go into there and look at all of some of the planning tools and options that they have for you. Training and events, again, if you can go in person, look at those regional events, any regional meetings. Edge fills up pretty fast, so if that's something you want to go to, definitely look into that. Here are the certified specialist programs. Again, not something that you have to do, but they have active and adventure, group travel, honeymoons, leisure, and luxury. Again, there's a charge for those, so not something you have to do, but if that's something you want to do, you can absolutely do that. Marketing, we went through, so we talked about quite a few of that. They're going to help you with some email marketing. They give some discounts. I believe to Constant Contact is one of them that they give a discount to. So you can also utilize that. Programs. So we're going to talk about Cruise Complete, but once again, we don't utilize the SNAP there. But you can look into some other options that they have. Suppliers. So if you guys know Archer Travel and the Travel Cafe, they have that list of Archer's preferred suppliers, just the ones that we work with the most. We have a special relationship with these, but you're not limited to those suppliers. You know, we have hundreds of different suppliers we have access to, and Archer Travel is so well known that just giving Archer Travel's IATA number, you can register with almost every single supplier, every single one that I have ran into. Okay. But here is a good list of suppliers. If you want to search by cruises, if you want to search A to Z or by category, these are really good options. So let me see if I can find one. Let's see. I don't remember if Archer Travel has Enterprise, but we'll use Enterprise just as an example. So if I were to click on Enterprise here, I know that we can book with Enterprise, but I don't remember if it's in the Travel Cafe. So with Enterprise, they actually have their own travel advisor site. So you can actually utilize that to register, making sure you use Archer's IATA number to collect commissions. Okay. If you have, so these are the commissions for Agent Universe. Archer Travel may be a little different, so I always ask what they are, but it's also going to give you a link or a phone number so you can call in reservations. Okay. And again, if you want to register online, I wouldn't use this as the agency directly. I think that I would just use the travel advisor site. And then it's going to tell a little bit about Enterprise. If there are any specials or any resources, personal TA rates, you're going to be able to find those in here. So that's a really great resource for different suppliers. All right. Now the booking tools. Again, the air is, you can utilize these, but we don't really utilize the snap. So those are going to be, blanked out. But Cruise Complete, I think, is a really great program. So Cruise Complete, again, for research. So how many people have come to you, and if they haven't yet, they will, and they have said, you know what, I've never taken a cruise before. I want to go for like 5 days, maybe the end of summer, and I just want to go somewhere warm. So that narrows it down to what, about 900 cruises, right? Maybe they give you a budget, maybe they tell you about a commercial that they've seen, but still, it doesn't really narrow it down. So I never tell people to go at travel blind. You really got to learn to talk to your clients and narrow down the information, because you don't want to spend 4 hours getting this quote that you just pulled out of the sky with, random dates, random destinations, because you're going to be frustrated when they say, none of those really look good. Let's choose something else. You know what I mean? So, not that I'm encouraging that you not have your clients narrow down their information or help you out. I'm just saying that this Cruise Complete's helpful because it has almost all of the cruise lines in one spot. And I'm sure when you got started, the same way I felt, I thought, okay, I'm going to have one website. I'm going to plug in a destination and a date, and it's going to pop up every single option there's ever been, right? And we all know that that's not feasible, but it's nice to have that option to narrow it down a little bit for you. So you can choose either between river cruises, and I know that river cruises, a lot of people don't know a lot about. So you can get some education just by searching in here and see who does river cruises and where they're at. I think they're very undersold. I think that river cruises are a lot of fun. But we are going to go ahead and just choose the cruise for this example. And your first screen here, your first research screen, I tell people to keep your search parameters simple, okay? So, yes, Wendy, so you have to be active to use Cruise Complete. Now, Cruise Complete is new, and so in order to turn Cruise Complete on, we had to send an email to Archer Travel asking them to activate it. I'm not sure that you have to do that anymore if you're just requesting access. But if you just got access to Agent Universe and Cruise Complete isn't on here, email Archer Travel and ask them for that access. Okay. I actually think that the email was, I think it was Cruise Complete at archertravel.com. That was the email from a while ago. So if I'm correct, Wendy, do you have access to Agent Universe? Did you just get approved? Let me see if I can bring up. I just want to verify that email address is correct, because if you can get access, I want you guys to, okay, your profile isn't active. All right. Anybody that has started in the last 3 to 4 months where your profile is active, but you don't have cruise complete? Or did you get it automatically? I told myself that I was going to ask about this and I forgot. All right, I'm gonna go to the travel cafe and then I am just going to search here. So I think I could probably just search cruise complete. There is no real difference per se between Travel Leaders, except Travel Leaders Network is the consortium and Agent Universe is like their portal. Okay, yeah, so it's cruise complete at archertravel.com. See how this was in 2023 when this came out? So we had to go back and ask to be added to it. So it wants you to send your Evolution ID number and your name to cruisecomplete@archertravel.com. So just in case you don't have access, you can utilize that email. All right, so as I tell everyone, when you first get started and you are searching, keep these search parameters kind of limited because if you fill in something for every single one of these, you're going to get 0 responses. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and say for this example, they wanted it to be kind of the end of summer, so maybe we'll do like a Christmassy cruise. So we're going to do the 15th. And we'll do through January 14th. They want to be 5 to 7 nights. So we'll do 5 to 7. And again, I could make that 4 to 8 just in case I got a really good deal and I want to upsell their value a little bit. So that's typically what I would do is go one more day. Any destination. So they said somewhere warm. I could click in here and I could look at all the warm destinations, or I can just wait. Any cruise line. So maybe they told me they watched a commercial and they wanted to do Carnival. I typically just leave it with all the cruise lines because I like to look at and compare those different cruise lines. And you can even narrow it down by the cruise ship. Now, one thing that people usually know is um, where they want to leave from. So where they want to embark and where they want to come back to. Okay. So typically a popular one is going to be Miami or Port Canaveral. So maybe maybe I'll just search Florida so I can see all of the locations in Florida. And then number of cabins, we just want 1. So this is probably where I wouldn't use like a marketing code unless they were very specific or any sailing identifiers. Okay. And then I am going to click on search. And you can see some specials that are scrolling through here. So Royal Caribbean has a lot of specials with kids sail free. So you can get a lot of really good deals with Royal Caribbean, especially if they have kiddos going. All right, so now I've got my search here, and as you can see, I have Royal Caribbean. As I scroll down, I'm going to be able to see other cruise lines, but I may need to narrow the search just a little. But I have 159 matching itineraries. Okay, all different cruise lines, all different ports. You can see I only put in a few search terms, and I still have 159 different opportunities. So on the left here, I can actually narrow that down even further. I can narrow it down by changing the nights. I can narrow it down by the currency. So we all know probably not going to do a $94,000 cruise, right? But maybe I want to drop it down to 25,000. Probably won't reduce my search a whole lot, but that'll help to reduce it as well. Now from here, and now you can see I have Regent Seven Seas Cruises. So from here, I can look at these opportunities and these specials, or if I wanted to, see how I can click on these and I can sort. So I could sort by destination. I could sort by price. So maybe I know they want a balcony and I want to see what's the cheapest. I want to give them a really good range. Do you always want to get them what's cheapest? Maybe not, but it's a good idea to be able to see what is out there. So here's where I can say, all right, so we have Celebrity Cruises, we have Carnival Cruise Line, and we have another with Carnival Cruise Lines. We have the Bahamas, the Bahamas, the Bahamas. Now, if I show those quotes, because you can see the details here, so you can give them an estimated quote, okay? You can see everywhere they're going to be and the days that they're going to be there and all the information. I can then, once I narrow down which one they want, I can then go to Celebrity Cruise website. I can look up the Celebrity Summit for the dates that are provided. So this one's going to be 5 nights, January 5th, 2026. So this is a really great way to be able to see all of the cruise lines and to be able to compare them. Any questions there? There is a book now option. I'm telling you, I've never booked directly with Cruise Complete. I know some of them, if you click on book now, it takes you right to that supplier's website. So some of these may do that. I do know that Cruise Complete and Agent Universe do have book now options. Any questions? I can also really quickly compare a couple. So if I compare and then I compare there and I click on the compare, it's going to show me a side-by-side comparison. All right, so I want to go back to Agent Universe. I want to make sure there's nothing I am missing. Yeah, I agree there too. I would book through Archer's links. I honestly agree. I think that way you know exactly what your commission is. You know that it's going to go directly to Archer Travel. That's why I always say use Agent Universe as a research resource. Is there anything else that you would like to see? Any questions that you have? You know, really explore through here. There's a lot of great information on here. This is really nice because the calendar that they have gives your social media content and any trainings for the day. Uh, Agent Universe has an amazing training on finding your niche. Really helps you to narrow down what it should be because, you know, I know we want to do all things travel, but I think it's a really good idea to just focus on one specialty. And you can progress from there, but focus on one specialty. So you can really narrow down your social media content, maybe narrow down your quotes, maybe get to know them really well. Because once you get to know how to use a certain supplier, all the other ones kind of fall into place because they work a lot like the same. All right. All right. So does Agent Universe help us research other non-cruise itineraries and locations? So I believe that they're suppliers. Let me see here. They used to have a search by destination. Wonder if I can just click on it. Well, how about if I just use this? All right, so let's see. Let's type in Portugal. Yeah, so you're going to be able to see everything they have for Portugal. And you get everything. So this is land, air, tours, railway. You're going to be able to see all of it. All right. Oh, was it on there? Did I miss it? Suppliers, first column. Oh, there it is. You're right. Destinations. Thank you. And you can use just the search feature. I absolutely love that search feature. All right, the niche training. So the niche training, you are going to go to, well, let's see. I don't know if it brings up trainings here. Guess we're going to learn something together. Here it is. You can develop a niche through education. These are the specialty trainings. So you can look there, or if you go to training and you go to the TLN training library, the specialties you do have to pay for. But again, they're not needed. But the trainings, you don't have to pay for. Those are public trainings. So those are included. So if you didn't see what I just did, I just clicked the magnifying glass up here at the top. And I believe you can just search the word niche. Yeah. So you can enroll in their trainings, or you can watch one of their recorded trainings. And to enroll, I can show you how. So let's see, discovering your niche. Oh, they have a nice worksheet here too. Let's do discovering your niche. And it's going to say to start. So this must be a recorded one. And there it is. That one is actually your worksheet. Let's see. That was a bad example there. I know that they had it, or they had a niche training just a couple of weeks ago. Oh, that's a neat one. Find a niche using artificial intelligence. Let's see what this one is. So this is an actual video, 7 minutes long. Let's see. So if I go back to my library, I gotta remember how to get back to there. The training library is such a different platform for me. It's hard to get used to. Do you need to be certified with the suppliers in order to get access to the content? No. You do not have to be certified at all to even book with them. The certification and the trainings are just a bonus, mainly geared to your niche or what you want your specialty to be. So what I tell people is if you want your specialty to be Disney, get certified with Disney because you want to know everything there is to know about it. But if you also want to book cruises, you don't have to get their specialty courses. You don't have to take any of their training. No, you do not have to be certified to book with them. All right. Pam, I apologize. We are on the Agent Universe site, and I'm going to post this training to my YouTube channel. So let me give you the link to that so that when it posts, you guys will be notified. So go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and then that will you'll be notified when it's posted. All right, so let's see here. I don't really know what niche should fall under. See how these categories, they're just a little bit vague. But I do know in the actual training calendar, because I put them into our training calendars every month. Let's see. There's the agent profiler, building up the agent profiler. And that does have a recorded one. So unless I'm overlooking it, maybe they don't have one this month. Usually they do every single month. Um, so when you go into here, like let's say we're going to go to the agent profiler. It's going to tell you all about the agent profiler and what the training is. And then it's going to give you the link to register. So we're going to go ahead and click on that link to register. All right, no sessions are enrolled yet. And then if you want to go over and see which sessions, this one's coming available November 6th. So then you can enroll in that session. They used to, let me move this out of the way in case I can't see it. They used to actually have a link to the recorded version. They must not have that anymore. Well, shoot. Anyhow, if you go into here, you can search for it. Um, and you can just search, agent profile. They actually have a special section for agent profiler. But you can search and it'll show you how to get that set up. So here's your video lesson on agent profiler. You can just launch it. Any other questions? How does all of this generate client leads? So with your agent profiler, that'll generate leads because let's say your specialty or what you focused on in agent profiler is Carnival Cruises. When TLN is a very large network, okay? Very large network in travel. And so when somebody searches, getting a quote on Carnival or how to research Carnival or a travel agent for Carnival Cruise Line, they are going to be able to see your information. Especially if you list an area that you cover that's in their area. And you can really make a large coverage area. So you could do, all of the US as a coverage area. And you're going to learn more about that when you take the training on that agent profiler. And it's not hard at all to get to a super agent. So definitely make that your goal. Obviously, super agents are going to get a little more traction than the basic agent profiler. Any other questions? All right. Well, I want to thank all of you for joining me here today. Make sure to get registered, set up that agent profiler. It's not hard at all. Have TLN and Agent Universe, have them help you get that bio, have them help you set it up. It's, you can watch these trainings, you can learn how to become that super agent status. And that's just another way to get leads. Okay. It's something that is completely complimentary to you. So definitely utilize it. Utilize that social media tools. I know a lot of us are like, okay, social media can be a little overwhelming. If you go to any social media site or if you're trying to do a TikTok and they give you 100 different options and you're trying to create these when you're a little bit nervous, this gives you something that'll post almost every single day. You can have something to post, especially between Branch Up, between Ralio, and between Agent Universe. Okay. All right. You guys are very welcome. And I wish you all the best of luck in your travel career and in your business. If you need help, reach out for help. Okay. Never ever be afraid. If your mentor isn't available, it's okay if your mentor is not available. You have gold leaders, you have platinum leaders, you have um, corporate trainers in the company. If you were to send me a message and need help with something, I would be more than happy to point you in the right direction. So we always want to make sure that you guys are successful. So please, please don't be silent. Thank you, everyone, and have an amazing day.